getting some love from the street today. Wedbush adding Petco, ticker WOOF, to its best ideas list after they had an earnings beat and stronger than expected guidance after the bell yesterday. The shares are up 10%, putting it around $3 a share after a 69% decline over the past year. Meanwhile, FreshPet getting bullish nods from Deutsche and Redburn Atlantic, the latter upgrading shares to buy, citing growth in the fresh frozen pet food category and a key management change. Edward Lewis made the call on FreshPet for Redburn and joins us now. Edward, it's great to see you. Welcome.
Thanks very much, Kelly.
How much this feels now like a very well-known thesis. I mean, well-known success story, really. So how much more room do the shares have to grow? Yes, I'd certainly agree that the notion of the premium part of the pet category to continue to do well is very much out there. The fastest growing pet owners in America are Gen Z, millennials. They don't want to feed their pets the kind of food that their parents fed them. They want to feed them the kind of food that they would eat. So as a result, FreshPet has really capitalized on that trend. It's got 34,000 fridges across 27,000 stores across the US. So it's done very well. The opportunity I see, Kelly, is that after a really tough time during the pandemic and then coming out of the pandemic, where they really had to, face significant challenges around building new facilities down in Ennis, Texas, dealing with commodity costs, which obviously ran up very strongly. They've now got many of those issues behind them. So now in the position really to be on the front foot and start delivering and going after more of a mainstream opportunity, and also starting to probably get more leverage down in the model. So start delivering the kind of profits that the top line has always promised, but they haven't been able to generate. That's really interesting, and certainly that's what investors would want to wait to make sure is going to be part of the story here. Not just a great, growth story. We've all seen a million of those, but one that can actually be profitable. I like it that you cover FreshPet along with a lot of the typical consumer products companies, where we're seeing inflation create a lot of consumer resistance to taking price at this point. Why is FreshPet immune from that? Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, FreshPet is not a mainstream product. It's in probably 12 million households. That figure doubled during the pandemic from about 6 million in terms of household penetration, as they call it. So, if there are around 70 million pet households in America, getting up to 12 million, you're still not very penetrated. Something like Blue Buffalo, for example, is in about 33, 34 million. Pedigree's into like 23, 24 million. So it's still relatively niche in terms of that regard. And then I think it's a real lifestyle choice that people are making, and people are positively choosing to take FreshPet. And so ultimately, in terms of pushback around pricing, I mean, they took pricing quite aggressively during the last couple of years. They didn't necessarily see the kind of impact people might have thought, continue to grow volumes at a double-digit rate, even with the aggressive pricing they took. So, I think, as I say, this is a kind of lifestyle choice that people are choosing to make. And ultimately, they're very happy to feed the dog FreshPet, and to a certain extent, the price takes care of itself. So let's just posit that 6 months from now, we're in a bit of a consumer slowdown. You look across your coverage universe, you've got McDonald's, Starbucks, you've got Clorox, Colgate, Palmolive. I mean, do you think that FreshPet is basically going to be relatively immune from a consumer slowdown? Yes, I mean, I think we saw over the last couple of years where, a lot of pricing was being taken. They didn't see the impact that others have seen. If I look at something like Blue Buffalo, they're declining. Their pet food business is declining at the moment, down 2%, I think, last quarter, whereas FreshPet's growth was up 31%. So I think really we haven't seen FreshPet be able to go out there and market and merchandise, $100 million of advertising this year, presence in 34,000 fridges in 27,000 stores across America. They're in a much stronger position than they were a few years ago to go out and tell their story. And having addressed many of these operational issues, that's really helped them. I think for the broader consumer story, yeah, definitely. If you're McDonald's, you've got to do a better job on value. They're hopefully doing that with the $5 menu they're coming out with. If you're Starbucks, I think you've got to do a better job on innovation. You've got to get people into the stores to buy, the kind of coffees and innovative products they developed. But I think, in terms of the ultimate, the underlying consumer, I think there's a big debate out there about how strong the consumer is. We certainly think the evidence suggests the consumer isn't in as bad a shape as people might necessarily think. So I think there's always going to be room in the basket for premium products that really fit the bill. And that certainly is FreshPet. Oh, that's great. You answered my only last question about what you think is going on with consumers. You follow them very closely, and you think maybe a little bit better than is widely believed, or at least than they're telling us in the sentiment surveys, that's for sure. And Freshpet versus Blue Buffalo, I think, is also a reminder it's not just everything in the pet category across the board that would be working right now, but it's that innovation and then that turn towards that higher-end consumer product for freshness. Edward.